Hello, welcome to the second activity with me, Adrian, the eavesdropper in residence at Grimsby Top Town Market for our big picture. Now, if you had a look at last week's video, there was an introduction and I showed you some of the work I've been doing where I've been in the market listening to sounds and creating text artworks from those sounds. And to create most of those, I've been using printing blocks like this, which are old printing blocks from the days of when posters and signs and stuff would often be printed using these. Now, of course, you don't have these knocking about at home, so we're going to have a go at making our own, and that's this week's activity. The first thing is to cut a letter shape. I'm going to show you the things that I did wrong, as well as the things that worked, okay? If you want to just cut straight to the chase, there's this little zine here, which you can print out from Facebook and from Our Big Pictures website, and it guides you through the whole sort of process. But I'm going to give you some extra hints and tips here as well. So the first thing is to cut a letter shape out of some card. And my first attempt, I used this corrugated card, which is what most cardboard boxes are made from. This doesn't work too well, although you have probably got tons of this stuff knocking about at home if you're having things delivered rather than going shopping. But you can see I cut the letter shape out. The good thing about this is you can cut it with scissors and it's quite easy. And I've stuck it with double-sided tape to this chunk of polystyrene, which again I just hacked apart with scissors. That came in some packaging as well. So we're just using old junk and stuff we've got lying around. The problem with corrugated card is it's got these kind of ridges in it. You can see it's where I've torn it there. You can see it's kind of hollow inside, and that's why it bends easy in a certain direction. These ridges mean it's not very good for printing. Let me show you where this one doesn't work. So I'm using an ink pad for this. You might have much smaller ink pads, you know, for when you're sort of fingerprinting. They work just as well because the technique is that you dab the ink on, not sort of pressing really hard on the ink pad. So you could just as easily be dabbing like that. If you haven't got ink at home, just use paint. Just make sure it's sort of quite a thin layer and it's on something with a flat surface, like a plate or a lid of an ice cream tub, something like that. I'll show you how this one doesn't work. So press down. The pressing down is a really vital bit, but no matter how much pressing down you do, this doesn't quite work properly. Yeah, you can see it's kind of an interesting effect, but and would be great if we were doing really big letters. Okay, but for this size of letters that we're doing, it's not really ideal. So I tried it with some better quality card. Okay, so this is really smooth card. Now I've used this stuff called mount board, which is more of an artist thing, so you might not have any of that. But if you've had anything delivered in an envelope like this kind of card is nice and smooth and will be ideal. Also the card you get on the back of notebooks or pads of paper, that works as well. So I've cut a letter from that. Let's give this one a go. Now in retrospect, using polystyrene wasn't the best idea because it squishes when you press on it, and actually something harder might work. I'm going to try that in a minute, but let's give this one a go first. So press down. You can see that. If I hold it up, that's worked better. It gets using card gets this really sharp edge round the edge of the letters, which is kind of nice. Now if that isn't a dense enough print for you, just do it again. So put the ink on your letter again, and then you've got to position it very carefully to try and get it in exactly the same place. Although you can get some interesting effects by just sort of getting them slightly misaligned. And then it comes out better. Okay, so that's not too bad. I tried it with something more solid. Well, I haven't printed this one yet. Let's give it a go. This is a tape cassette case, but I was thinking what else we might have knocking around the house. If you've got any Duplo, you know, the big chunky Lego stuff, a piece of that might work. Let's give it a go. This might work, this might not. This is first time. So let's dab that. Make sure I've got ink. Make sure, always check to see you've got ink all over it. another top tip, you see I've got a magazine underneath here. So that just helps you, well, helps the paper squash down a little bit and helps you get a more even pressure over everything. It's a little more forgiving. And I'm going to press with my fingers here as well for those bits where the box isn't on. Let's have a look. Now, that's not bad. And again, if you want to fill that in a bit, just put it on again. Press down. I should have maybe sellotaped a few cases together here. That's starting to work pretty good. I've got another idea. Okay, if you you might have some foam lying around. Sometimes you get it in craft kits. I know you can't go to the shops to buy it at the moment, but if you have some of that foam that you can cut with scissors, that will work really well if you put it on a base like this. Also, sometimes when you get pizzas from the supermarket, they come on kind of a plasticky kind of foam base. That stuff is ideal as well and cuts really easy with scissors. So that's a lot easier than cutting sort of thick card actually. I don't have a shop pizza at home, so I can't try that one out for you. But maybe you can have a go at experimenting with some of these things and send them in. I'm going to record another little video just about getting neat letter shapes, okay? But for now, off you go. Have fun trying to make your own letter stamps. And do send in your results. I'm really interested to see what you come up with.